Hello, everyone! Many people who grew up in China have probably encountered this kind of situation. You say something, and immediately someone comes along to correct you, telling you that you shouldn't have phrased it that way, and that you should have said it differently instead. Who are these people? Let's start with an incident from more than a decade ago. In February 2010, during the Vancouver Winter Olympics, an 18-year-old Chinese girl named Zhou Yang won the gold medal in the women's 1,500-meter short track speed skating event. After the race, a reporter asked her what the gold medal meant to her. She replied that winning the gold would change many things, give her more confidence, and allow her to make her parents' lives a little better. This heartfelt remark moved many people. After Zhou Yang became a champion and a public figure, reporters visited her home and discovered that her parents were both disabled and had no formal jobs. Her mother earned a little money by knitting sweaters for others, and the three of them lived modestly on that income. Before going to Vancouver for the Olympics, Zhou Yang's own monthly salary was only 500 yuan. When people learned about the girl's humble background, they felt even more warmth in her words. Coming from a poor family, her first thought after winning a world championship was to improve her parents' lives. This kind of genuine feeling would warm hearts anywhere in the world, regardless of society or system. However, some people found fault with it. A few days later, during the 2 sessions in Beijing, a deputy director from the General Administration of Sport of China, Yu Zaiqing, spoke at a meeting of the CPPCC Sports Group. He specifically instructed how Zhou Yang should have spoken. You said that while it was fine for athletes to express gratitude to their parents and show filial piety, they must also keep the country in their hearts and put the nation first. One shouldn't just talk about parents. He felt the young athlete hadn't fully expressed the right sentiments and called for stronger moral education for athletes. Another official, Gao Jian, a director at the administration, chimed in, agreeing that under the socialist system, everyone's growth depends on the state. He claimed there were major shortcomings in moral education. A young girl simply spoke like a normal human being, and immediately 2 officials appeared to scold her harshly. You are not allowed to speak like a human. These 2 men, Yu Zaiqing and Gao Jian, had climbed the ranks in what the speaker calls the ghost realm. Yu became a deputy director and Gao a director after decades of maneuvering, stepping over countless others. Hearing genuine human words frightened them. Even if they rose to the highest positions in their world, emperor, general secretary, or chairman, they still felt inferior to real humans. Deep down, they knew this. Because they were insecure, they could not tolerate human speech. They had to force everyone else to speak their ghost language so that their own ghostly nature would not stand out. A person may look human, dress like a human, and walk like a human, but if their speech is full of twisted, insincere words, it's because there is a ghost in their heart. They carry a small briefcase to the ghost office every day, appearing half human, half ghost on the outside, but ghostly inside. As the saying goes, words are the voice of the heart. Speech reflects one's true realm. This reminds me of an old saying. Humans have one mother, but demons, or ghosts, have at least 2. One who gave birth to them, and another who promoted and nurtured their career in the system. In the ghost realm, nothing is closer than your promoter mom. This is not human ethics, it's ghost ethics. In China's highly politicized sports environment, athletes rarely get to express themselves freely. When one finally spoke authentic human words, the little ghost immediately howled and pointed her toward the ghost path. An 18-year-old girl from a powerless bottom-tier family had no choice but to listen to the deputy director's scolding. A few days later, during an online interview, the host specifically asked Zhou Yang whom she wanted to thank. She listed the country first, then supporters, coaches, staff, and finally her parents. Her parents, who had been first in her sincere post-race comment, dropped to 5th place, behind even the staff. Netizens commented that the child had been matured. In China, so-called maturity often means hiding your human side and revealing the ghostly one. 1. Even that wasn't enough. Her father was also asked to make a statement. He said he was moved by his daughter's heartfelt thanks to her parents, but then added, of course, after parents raise their children, don't they ultimately belong to the country? This idea was not his own invention. It is a doctrine instilled by the party mom into the minds of the Chinese people. You give birth to children, raise them well, but don't get any ideas. The children are yours, but they are also mine, and ultimately mine. If you think about it, this logic does not treat people as people. It treats them like livestock. Pigs and dogs give birth to offspring that belong to the owner. Many Chinese people have seen through this pig and dog logic. Yu Ching and Gao Zhen's remarks sparked widespread criticism online. Chinese is a heavily polluted language. Over time, it has accumulated many dirty, rotten words. We casually use them without realizing we have jumped into a cesspool.
Take the word repay the country, 报国. Many Chinese view it as noble and lofty. But peel back the packaging, the character bao means repay or return a favor. It presupposes a debt. You owe the country, and you must spend your whole life paying it back. In China's peculiar reality, the country is the party mom, and the party mom is the country. So repaying the country means repaying the party. People with normal understanding know that the party is supported by Chinese taxpayers. The people support the party, not the other way around. This word completely inverts who supports whom. In linguistics, there is the concept of presupposition. The word embeds a premise before any debate even begins. If you argue whether one should repay the country, you have already lost the moment the word is spoken, because the debt is presupposed. This is the cunning power of polluted vocabulary. It sets the stage for your defeat.
There are countless such rotten words in Chinese, screwed like screws into people's minds. Arguing with the party's loudspeakers using these words is like diving headfirst into the sewage pit they dug. Once you understand the filth in these words, the simple response when you hear them is treat garbage as garbage. Don't let it enter your own language world. These polluted terms have many fans in the Chinese-speaking world. Little pinks, old reds, paid trolls, unpaid self-motivated ones, local and overseas versions. They constantly spout them. There is an ancient book called Lushi Chunqi from over 2,000 years ago. It contains a story about the man who chases stench. A man had a strange body odor that repelled his family, relatives, and friends. Troubled, he moved alone to the seaside. There, he met people who loved his smell and followed him day and night.
Looking at today's Chinese internet, with people proudly spouting stacks of rotten words and cheering for the system, you have to admit that this simple story from over 2 millennia ago is an eerily accurate prophecy for contemporary China. There are far more such polluted words than the few mentioned today. Every listener could name several more, like obedient old yellow ox, compatriots, never forget national humiliation, and so on. Those interested could compile a dictionary of polluted words. Benjamin Franklin once compiled a dictionary of 228 terms for drunkards. Given Chinese history and 80-plus years of systematic degradation, a Chinese version would certainly exceed that number. That's all for today. See you next time.